A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only once. George W. R. Martin. Welcome to this class where we are going to study a very important reading strategy or technique, previewing. But why do I need to study reading strategies, you may wonder? Reading strategies are meant to help you save time. Effective readers use strategies to understand what they read before, while, or during and after reading. Then, active readers use these strategies to help save time and cover a lot of ground. That means most of the material that you need to read. As a reader, you may also have a purpose for reading, and that purpose should determine your strategy or the strategies that you are going to use. Let's start with a very simple but concise definition of previewing. According to Michaletti and Jeffries, previewing is a rapid kind of reading that allows you to get a general sense of what a passage, article, or essay or a book is about. It also tells you how it is organized. In their website, the Learning Center of the CEGEP College in Montreal presents 5 steps for previewing an article or a chapter in a book. Let's start with step number 1. Read the title and think about what it says or what it means, because according to them, the title often summarizes what the article or the chapter is about. Next, in step number 2, you have to pay attention to the subtitles. Read them. Read also the headings and subheadings, because they reveal the author's organization of the material. And you have to also pay close attention to key phrases, because those key phrases reveal the basic content of the material that you are about to read. Before we continue with step number 3, let's clarify some key terms. Let's start with subtitle. A subtitle is a short summary appearing under or next to the title. The subheadings. The subheadings are breakdowns of main headings, and they usually reveal the important points related to the major heading. A large font of bold print that often stands out as a visual aid for the reader is the heading. Now let's continue with step number 3. According to them, we have to read the first and the last few paragraphs in the article or the chapter that you are about to read. Why? Because in the first few paragraphs, you will be introduced to the subject and purpose of the article or the chapter. And in the last ones, the writer will present conclusions or a summary. In step number 4, we have to look carefully at any pictures, charts, graphs, or illustrations that go along with the text. If you look at such aids before you read, that will put your mind into the correct frame or reference before you start reading. You have also to note keywords which may be used to describe those pictures, because they will help you to refer to the main points. Let's finish with step number 5. You have to see or look if there is a summary or a set of questions at the end of the chapter or the article that you are about to read. You read those questions and you try to answer or predict those questions. At this point, you should have a good overview or idea about what you are about to read. Let's continue checking more information about how to preview an article or an essay. Michaletti and Jeffries says that when previewing an article or essay, you have to look at most of the first paragraph. That means that you have to pay closely attention to most of what you can see in the first paragraph. After that, you have to read the first sentence and the concluding sentence of each paragraph. According to them, and after you have checked those 3 steps that I already presented, you have to answer these questions. First, what is this article or essay about? Pay attention to the title and ask yourself, what is the title? And what do I already know about this topic? What kind of text is this? What kind of text am I reading? Is it a description, an explanation, an argument, or a narrative? Then check the organization of the paragraph. Is the text divided into parts, or how is it organized? And finally, the visual aids. Are there any maps, numbers, italicized words, or names in the text? Okay, students, are you ready to practice a little bit? We are going to preview an essay presented by Michałecki and Jeffries in their textbook Advanced Reading Power. You are going to be presented an essay. Preview it by quickly reading only the underlined parts. You will have 1 minute to do so. After previewing, answer the questions that follow. Now you have to answer the following questions. You can also share the answers to these questions in the academic forum with your tutor and peers. Tell us, what is this essay about? What kind of text is this? It was a description text, an explanation, an argument, or a narrative text. Where do dictionary meanings come from? What is the role of a dictionary writer? Do words keep the same meaning forever? Now share or write any words, phrases, or numbers that you noticed while you were previewing the essay. In their website, the University of Texas at El Paso suggests that there are 3 parts in which we can divide our previewing reading technique. Let's take a look at the first part. In the first part, you have to look at the title of the selection that you are about to read, and you have to pay close attention to any subheadings. Then you have to read any leads in. They are usually italicized. After that, you have to skim the first and the last paragraphs. Then you have to look at any graphics or captions or graphs or pictures that are together with the text. Then you have to read biographical information about the author. Then you have to notice the location of original publication. In the second part, you have to read the title and the subheadings, and you have to think what they reveal about the content of the article or the essay you are about to read. Then think what the leads-ins reveal about the content. After that, you have to say how the first and the last paragraphs may set up or start and wrap up the focus or the thesis of the document that you are about to read. About the graphics, you have to think what they reveal about the content. And finally, what did you read about the biography of the author? What does it tell you? What does the original audience reveal about the author purposes and possible biases? Let's finish with the third part. In this part, you have to answer the following questions. What do you already know about the topic? You have to list 3 things you would be interested in learning about this topic. Then, what do you think is the purpose of the reading? Then you have to think or ask yourself, what learning goal or goals can you set for yourself as you read the following article or essay? And finally, ask yourself, have you already noticed words which do you not recognize? How will you deal with unfamiliar vocabulary? This is the way that you can preview an article or an essay according to the University of El Paso, Texas. According to Michałecki and Jeffries, previewing a textbook is especially important, and it's pretty much what we have been studying so far. According to them, you should always read the table of contents and the outline of a chapter to find out what they contain. Michałecki and Jeffries presents some guidelines for previewing a textbook passage. They are 5. The first one, you have to read the main heading. Then you have to check if the passage is divided into parts. It means its organization. Then you have to read the first few sentences. Then you have to read the first sentence of each paragraph. And finally, you have to read the final sentence of the passage. As you can see, the previewing technique presented by different authors are very similar. The only thing that is missing is that you start previewing your articles, essays, or textbooks. Thank you very much for your attention.